cast members that are free to play in your alliance, spending gems to follow you, and you have your home leader server behind you saying this is where you're going to go. I showed you that clearly, Jason. So overall message is just like I told you, Jason. You must not know of a player of my caliber.
All what I'm hearing is
So you got to keep that in mind, bro.
Jason.
Yo, this is.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
well,
just
why is
strictly
everyone
between,
against me? I didn't even do nothing.
I don't know.
That's all.
Audi, I
don't believe that you didn't do
very
anything.
rude behavior.
You got the
How
Merc
did
clan
you-
on you, bro. Just the Merc.
Strange. Is your best friend?
I got a target on
upset
my back.
about
That's
the photo
crazy.
wall? Is
What?
your
I
best
love
friend,
it.
is your best friend upset about what I have on my photo wall? Am I gonna get banned?
I totally did. I
100%.
totally forgot about it. He probably didn't even notice.
I feel like he's gonna get me banned.
We had such a constructive conversation. Now it's just about past beefs. Might take another cigarette and call it a night.
Yeah.
Hey, later.
Good talk, everyone.
Everyone go like my 6th photo on my photo wall. Thank you.
Then what if I don't?
That's okay. No,
Go with
it's
all your photos.
Hey, Strange,
it's a
tell
it's
Matt
a
I said
photo.
hello,
It's a good photo. It's of Gru.
That's
Don't
not a
say
good photo.
strange.
Huh?
I didn't hear what Slower said.
I said, tell Neff I said hello.
Ew.
Tell him
I don't wanna get
can't
yelled
wait
at.
I can't wait for the next conversation on World Chat.
Neff doesn't actually play this game, bro. He just fucking has his pilots play. That's strange.
Get yelled at. Why
Oh,
would you
shut
get
up.
yelled at?
That is so true. That's so
Yelled at by who?
That is so true.
Oh,
That's the truest
shit.
thing I've heard.
That's
He
got
plays his
no
account.
running
If you
game.
can't deal with it, then
He's gonna
just
yell at you guys.
whatever. But
Now, you know he don't
I
got
maybe
enough-
saw him on
enough
his account like
talent to
3
fight on
times
his
this whole
account.
season. I'm not gonna lie to you.
what?
I maybe saw Neff on his account like 3 times this whole season. I'm
You
not
wouldn't
gonna
even
lie.
know
Yeah.
if it was him. So stop talking shit.
Oh, you can
Dude, he
tell
only
me.
gets on, he only gets
No,
on
you
his ass. He
can't
only gets on
actually,
his
because
ass.
every time you guys would say it's not Neff, it was him.
I mean, I didn't even talk shit. I just said I saw him talking like
Because
3 times on his account.
He hasn't been talking in World Chat.
Damn, I shouldn't have.
You complain because he
Okay.
talks, and then he complained because he doesn't talk. So put.
I'm not
He's not
complaining.
on-
Nobody's complaining. I'm
He's
making
not
a
on his account, so I didn't
statement.
talk.
I want him to talk. It's the funniest shit
Nah,
ever.
fuck that.
It's such a shit show all the time.
It's not.
best.
Come on.
It's
It
the
was a
most
shit show like the
entertaining
first 2
show
days,
you
and then
can
he
see.
chilled the fuck out. Okay.
I'll bring it out of him again. Don't worry.
Day one shit talk goes crazy.
No, Slower. We are joining the Mercs.
All right,
And that-
we're joining the
There
merge.
you go. I like that. I like that idea. Powerful lords, please come this way.
I'll join the
old-
mercs if
We're joining
Jason
next week.
Jason joins and Ray Cloud and Strange join and Morden.
Yeah, you got a
Join
fucked up
next
list
week.
over there. You got like
If Sabrina
BXS,
calls,
Noir,
I'm
TFS. Like,
Yep,
pick a side.
exactly. So it's
Good old
gonna happen.
33
And
reunion
there's no
in here.
sides
Merc,
when you're
Merc is
Merc.
going to bring everybody together to create the
Well,
power
what's
of
cool is
that everybody
this
deserves.
guys overall. We're all
Can Ozzy join us soon?
game chat, man. Hear this out. This is the official game chat that we all sit back and enjoy, really. Even though we're bullshitting. It's quite remarkable because every player in here is participating with this new game, you know?
How fucking
Jason,
hot
I
are
must
you?
say, though, man, it's cool what you've built, bro. I don't think you're like a solid leader. I think I'm a better leader than you. But you have a lot of players behind you.
Oh, shit.
Anyone who said that,
Look,
I
now that
think
you
you're
get
not
putting
gonna
the
have
realistic
All right.
expectations.
Hey, one
Where
at a
I'm
time.
going,
One at
where
a
I'm
time.
going.
One at a
Overall,
time.
bro, I think that, you know, it makes the best of both scenarios. When you have positive implementations towards the future of the game we all enjoy, yeah, that's what it's all about. So I just think it needs to be more fair. The clash between powerful players should be housed in a server selection for us to hopefully pick upcoming season.
Still on this.
Is it just me or does the conversation keep coming back to the same shit like 5-6 times
Let
now?
him cook.
No, it's
I
just
don't
Audi
know,
being
dude.
schizo.
It's the same
Dude, I
fucking
wouldn't
thing
know
every
what it
time.
is, bro.
Heard him
I don't know
saying-
what it
Same
is.
Every time he opens his mouth,
What's
he
the
just
next
talks about
heroes
the
that are
same
coming
thing.
out? What's the next heroes that
There
are
we
coming?
go. Something new.
Did anybody catch a 3-star skill yet?
That's all I want to know.
No.
No, I didn't.
No.
They don't exist.
Gabby has
I
a
ain't even
2.
seen
Gabby has a 2-star
bro.
because she's a hacker.
2-star.
Gabby
Well,
caught
there's
a
also
2-star. She's a hacker.
Yeah, yes, you get to see my sapphire Drake did.
Yo, any research runes? That's the real question. Slide?
Premise.
Hey, is that
Please?
Premise.
Oh,
Look at
shit.
that.
Remus.
Oh,
Remus.
Oh, there you are.
the guys here. Oh, rip.
Literally everyone is here, bro.
You notice how everyone knows him?
So
Yeah,
Prim,
dude.
what you didn't jump with BXS to our server?
I am there.
You are? Okay, good.
Yeah, I need a fucking
You're about to
research
get
rune.
fucked.
Dude,
You're
I've
about to
seen
get
you
fucked
play
up.
it, your ass. Don't talk to me.
Bro, you ain't
That's
even
crazy.
know the shit I've been. You ain't even know the shit I've
That's
been.
crazy.
Bro's having his fucking raw training arc right now and managing troops. That's crazy.
Hold on. We got guns in
I
chat
gotta
and he
get
ain't even
fucked
say shit.
up.
Is that
Wait,
B guns in
was
chat?
there?
Oh,
We got
D-Guns?
Think guns in forever.
Oh, man,
Wait.
Guns.
Hey, Guns.
What?
Yo,
this
Guns,
is like
say
a-
what's up to
What's
your
up,
old
baby? I
friend,
love
bro.
you.
This is
Oh
the
my God,
Nah, y'all,
Guns, tell
you
your
gotta
wife
get
I said
fucking
hi.
rolled, bro.
Guns
tell
the
you why I
quiet
said I-
one since
Guns.
when?
Guns is
Bro,
the number one mage
I'm
main.
hella bored at work, bro. And I saw
Guns
there
is
was
the
hella
number one
heads.
mage main.
I was
Are
like,
Now,
you
what
still
page?
That's false. She does
Guns,
more
keep
memes
your
than-
flyers away from me. I remember
flyers.
that.
Yo,
I'm
Guns.
traumatized.
Guns and
You
flyers,
could
bro.
be any march you want and I'll still fuck your ass up.
Traumatized by his flyers,
That guy
yo.
was the flyer guy, man. I
They didn't see
remember
the
him.
smiley
That
face,
guy was
crying face.
Right? Hunting
Every
us
fucking
everywhere.
day.
Jason, you finally want to win in a 1v1, bro? Because I got all the reports,
I'll
bro.
bust your ass in a 1v1 right now. Any march you want, I'll bust your ass.
Tired.
This is a really weird family reunion.
Dude, we spent 2 months straight fighting each
I'm
other.
here
2
for
months
it.
straight.
Oh, you're right.
It's COD,
I mean,
COD
at the
VC
end-
after dark.
At the end of the day, it's all love because we'd be very bored without each other.
No, I hate everybody.
Bro, y'all gotta be.
That's okay, we all hate you.
I know.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
Be aggressive. Be
It
aggressive.
don't matter to me.
That's what it is.
We know.
Why can't we be friends?
Friends, why can't we?
Oh,
be
he's singing his
friends?
song.
Oh, yo, Jason, you finally sung. That's my boy right
Yo, I
finally
sing
sang the
ABCs in that
song.
town hall. Come on now.
there. No, I heard that.
I know. Wait,
Bro,
Sin,
I
you
had to
recorded
leave,
that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
I had to leave, bro. Sing it again.
Nah, I'm good. Never happening again.
He's in
It's
Boston.
coming out on
Actually
video.
recorded
Can't wait. It'll hit the
I had to go
YouTube
to work,
soon.
man. Fuck this, bro.
Don't forget to join BXS for the karaoke nights. That's how they got
These
me.
guys are
Oh, hell no.
Look at that, man. The
We'll be
propaganda,
in there
propaganda
arguing
spreads in the
for
COD
an
VC.
hour.
They can't hear me drunk singing, bro. It's not right.
No propaganda here.
It's just pure content. What do you mean?
There you
Only truthfulness here.
go. I like how you spread the word out there into its different syllables.
I wonder who would kill who in Among Us with you guys. I wonder
I'll
who
kill
would get it first.
everybody. I'll kill everybody.
Dark. You want-
Imagine playing Among Us when there's Pal World. That's crazy,
And I'll
bro.
tell you that I killed
Okay, yeah.
I'm
I
so
need
bad
to
at
get
Power
on Pal
World,
World.
World is goated right now.
Shut
All
the
right,
hell
throwing
up,
that
Prentice.
there.
No one wants to play that with you, bro.
With me? That's crazy, bro. You can't even play the game. Shut up.
Why are you so loud all the time, bro?
Me?
Yeah.
Is
Like,
it
you
loud?
turn
him
This,
down.
dude, this is literally my constant volume. I don't know what to tell you, man.
You
Can
can
we
turn
tone
him down.
down your constant
I got
volume to
totally
like a 6? You know what I'm saying? You're like at a 9 right now. Can we
Got
like
a
a little bit?
10, man.
No,
Look
just
at
turn
that.
his volume down. Just mute
Mate,
him.
mate, I am in like a billion different VCs. This is only the few times in here in this game where I hear issues with it.
Yo, Primus, you're still in BXS, dude?
Skill issue.
Yes, sir, dude.
Damn, dude.
Yo, I didn't get the invite to 066.
Yeah, dude.
Tito, what's up, bro?
Why
Hey,
would
what's up?
you want to be there to be with Julia? Because that's where I heard he is.
Oh, dude. Yo, hold
Yeah,
up.
of
Okay,
course,
yo,
bro. Dude, she's the
Dude,
best in VC.
Yeah, I
Straight
got you.
static.
Not playing,
So-
bro. Come on, you guys are lying.
She's
All right, so hold on. So Julia, right? She was with us in 66 because we thought she changed. We kicked her out in like the first like couple weeks, like instantly. Because
Yeah. The same shit happened in BXS. Oh, she changed. My ass.
you know, and then every alliance,
That's
no,
great.
No alliance
Dragon
wanted
Flame,
her.
though.
Oh my god,
Not a-
surprise!
none.
The last thing I seen her wrote in chat when I started playing in Zone 5 was, I can't play against T5s anymore, I need to go fight T4s.
And
I
she was
said,
T5.
get the fuck out of here.
Wait, that sounds like somebody else in this chat. They pick on T4s.
Oh.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude, Julia fucking Julia was
She got
messaging
banished
me.
to Australia
See?
too.
See, we're trauma bonding together.
So Jason actually, because we're merged with FS.
Yep.
We're like, yeah, Julia stayed here. He's like, wait, what? Julia? Oh, fuck Julia.
I fucking
tried to leave.
she annoys the shit out of me.
She actually
Didn't you defend her at one point?
She
That's why you
migrated
kicked
out
her out of the
actually.
chat?
She flips on every side possible.
She left 33 to 38, and then 38 still got paired with our merge, so she's still here. It's just never ending. Cannot get away.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
she just
so
likes
glad
attention.
that
She just
fucking
loves
toxic
attention.
person's not near us, man.
I mean,
You know
season
where
one,
Jaime is?
they were
Go
really
back there.
fucking toxic,
I'll
so
stay
they
back there.
mellowed out.
And your service though.
What?
Hi, me. We got 2441. Hi. 2441. Thank you.
Bro's at work.
What?
I do.
She just came back from lunch.
Someone just get called a slut?
Somebody
What?
Your background noise? Yeah, that's crazy.
I swear to God, someone was just called a slut.
I think it was Ray Cloud.
Nothing wrong with
Ray, you
that.
calling me a slut? You gotta ask the whore with it.
Compliment.
As a slut and a
Okay,
whore,
very proud.
then you get the floor.
You guys say the sweetest things.
Guns, tell your wife I said hi.
What the?
No.
Sabrina, why are you always trying to back up every female?
Yeah, Sabrina, why are you always hollering at the hotline?
I felt
Who's got
special,
the
Sabrina.
gift
I
for
thought
her?
what we had was special. Now I feel.
It is.
She was using you, bro. She used
Now you hurt my girl's strange.
Wow, you're hurting strange like that? That's crazy.
I'm
Nah,
sorry,
you wanna hurt Strange. Beat her in like some Discord activity, bro.
What
is
am
it?
I
Bubble
supposed
Bash?
to do?
Easy.
Kathy
That's
calls me-
how you hurt
Kathy
her.
calls me mommy. I don't know. I love all of you women. Kathy calls me mommy. Strange is.
I actually identify as a woman. That's weird.
Oh, Morty, you stole my
God.
fucking joke. I was literally just about to say that shit. Damn.
Oh, that was good.
I identify as an Apache attack helicopter.
That was good.
It's easy.
I feel discriminated as a man here right now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hey, you women are taking over. This season, I was part of Angel. Get this, a mother and daughter alliance, bro. It was fun as hell. They're from, I think they were
What kind of
French.
alliance?
Yeah, called Angel. It was the mother-daughter alliance, bro. I shit you not. They were
He
from
had
France.
Loki
Yeah, they were merged
with them.
Yeah, so it's cool. I enjoyed my stay for sure. Let me say this though: who's the most powerful lord in this chat right now? What is the highest power?
Yeah, you know those Rise of Kingdoms ads? Yeah, that's me. Alright.
Alright, I mean, if you're
Strange ain't even playing fair right now. Fuck what you guys are talking about. Strange is just straight up
Someone stepped up.
Just go look somewhere else. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Wait, Strange, what did you do?
Yo, we're 5v5 dueling, and this motherfucker, I shit you not, refreshed like 3 times on my 1-5, and I'm like, what the fuck? How does she still have mages and archers and caps? I killed them already, and I just
surrounding my
she
city, okay?
she just keeps fucking sending them out.
You were standing outside my city. That's not my fault. You wanted to
So, hold on
five.
now.
You didn't say how many times, okay?
All right, Jason, you said you were. What's your current power?
I did not say I was the strongest. Don't think I am.
No, he said the strongest in the voice call.
In the voice call, I'm
voice. No, power meaning okay. In this chat, what is your current power right now?
current. I'm not current. I'm
30 million.
139. If you want my
you're
overall healed, it's like
145.
245. I want to say.
Okay,
You're
damn. What is
145.
the max count of troop type that you exceeded? What's your favorite and what's behind it?
I think I have a max of like 4 million of each. I'm evenly spread.
Reason why I asked, man. Jeez, 4 million. The season I was playing with you, I scouted your player Fox. Back then, he was exhibiting like 2.5 million in cavalry unit. Man, I could
Fox
only
is a
say
beast.
like
Fox is a
Fox?
cav main, and he's cracked out. His calves are goated.
Yeah, it was
Fox is a
cool.
legend, and I'm tired of Morden trying to poach him. Thank you.
I've been trying to poach Fox for many, many seasons.
Yeah, I'm over your shit. I'm gonna slit your throat.
You don't have
Yeah,
fire.
I mean, wow. That's
Damn. That was nice.
I mean, you really know how to
Maybe
scare
he's into
people.
that.
All right, cool. So overall,
God, Adi.
of such amount of forces, man. You guys got to understand this as well. Any type of player that is like not spending that or anywhere close to that amount in progression through the seasons, free to play style players can't even think about having 1 million T5 troop count category. And it's just, that in itself, that's why I think the server selection would be such a positive thing for the game overall. Because you can't possibly.
Why are we so talking about this though? I call
Because this is game talk, man.
No,
So, like, at the end of the day,
you can get
go ahead.
over
That's what you want to talk about.
you can get 500k units a year on just one troop type. I call bullshit about free to play. Not making enough like 1 million troops.
And who's speaking of? Who said that? Kuto? Was that you?
Hell yeah.
So you're saying 500k per seat? What did you say?
You make about like per year. There's a bunch of free to play people that I know that are their dens are already level 25s, building 1600 units. You can build 1600 units for a day in like 12 hours at most, and you can build over 500k a year on just one troop type.
I think super active free to play now are around 40 mil, maybe 35 on the low end, 45 on the high end, depending on if they were in the top alliance getting gifts.
Thank you, Gabby, because I tried to explain that to Adi last night. And
Adi, what power are you?
I'm 20.
Here we go.
And I've been playing the game since the beginning. Now, I don't interact with the game every day, I must say, but I enjoy it. I really do. But at the power point that we're at now, free to play is still 25 million and under.
It's not 25 million, bro. You're just behind.
You're just
You're not playing the game. You're casual.
Guys, he was not in the top alliance that was a spending alliance. He's been in a free to play
Yeah,
alliance.
but he's Jordan. It doesn't matter.
He will not be at 35, 40 million power.
But his experience is like the entire experience of a free to play.
I think his experience is in the average range of free to play.
He's just not an average.
Below, it's way below average free to play.
No, don't be so.
If you're free to play in 35
getting a million merits ever since 15 million. I'm out on the field. I participate. Free to play is for sure 25 million and below. 30 million.
No.
That's not true. That's not true. TFS has multiple free to play that's between 35 and 48 mil power.
Every day.
If he's in a top spending alliance, he's going to be getting all those chests which are accelerating his growth.
Okay, what about my people inside? What about my people inside TDR? I have a free to play that's 38 mil.
He should be at least 35.
Exactly that. We spoke about this last night. Adi, I swear you get stuck on the same topics over and over again. And I said, even if you were in a fully free-to-play alliance, you should be higher than that. That's
I could agree. Yeah, I should have been higher. I could agree with that. But I don't think I would even get close to 30 million. That's
the easiest way to say is this: what is your limiting factor in power? Are you limited by resources, or are you limited by speed, or do you constantly have two buildings upgraded? Do you have all troops constantly being built? Do you have research constantly going? Are you VIP 8 for double research?
Are you farming all the time?
Oh yeah. Let me help you, bro. 4815-8203.
That was funny.
Is that my cord?
Yo, is that like a support help hotline number? Was that what he was reading off?
I think he's talking about
community.
Oh, jeez.
Infinite, what's up?
What the? What's up, bro?
You know what I think I'm gonna do? I think I'm just gonna solve this, and the data guy's gonna come out. So I think I'm just gonna poll everyone in the game.
Wait, before you do that, Kat asked Odie a question. Odie, do you log in every day?
No,
Okay.
I don't. But I'm on this chat now because I'm off of work. But I'm most active on the weekends. But I truly enjoy the game. I really do, because
you can enjoy the game. No one's saying you don't.
Most active on the weekends. So chances are he's only playing 2 to 3 days a week.
No. Let's be. If you enjoy the game, I participate as much as I can. I'm involved with it. But life is first for sure. But this is what I'm getting.
In a week?
It's just too much of a difference between, again, low power players and big power players.
Hold on.
Welcome to the world.
If you play 2 days a week, you're gonna be low power.
Yeah, Adi, you got to look at it like this. Like, look at you. You're a free-to-play. Look at my free-to-play. Like, Rimuru. He's a free-to-play player. He's a crackhead. He's on 7 days a week. He has constant shit upgraded, constant shit training. He has constant research going. Yes, does he benefit from the gold chest? He gets 100%. But has he dropped any money on the game? No. If you take the chests away, the chests aren't going to give him 20 mil extra power. Let's say the chest gave him an extra 5 mil, 7 mil of speed ups even. That still gives him a 13 mil power advantage over you because he's constantly active and doing stuff. And he's using the runes, he's using the buffs from behemoths and shit to constantly get his shit upgraded faster at a faster rate than you are.
And you're playing the pitiful me's
Also, again,
guys,
let's also just define average. Like, to Audi, average might be like 2 hours a day, 2 hours a week, right?
Yes.
We're like literally
We're
12 to 18. We're like 12 to 18 hours a day players, right? Most of us.
Right?
So
we're not gonna
Audi, we're
and all that information.
Did he just say 12 to 18 hours a day?
Yeah, I just say maybe 4 to 6.
You guys don't play that much 20 hours a day?
No, I was just be like, damn, does this guy think we all zombies?
No, that's not true though, because Morden was asking last night when we go to sleep, and when it's
There's only one person in our alliance that plays that much.
Yeah. Well, no. I was just saying that he said average, like average person for every single player that plays the game. I don't think 12 to 18 hours a day the average person is playing.
I know
the average is higher.
Like that's
I think
high.
what he means though, is he's on for 12 hours and
when you're in a very
extreme every once in a while.
The average T5 player is probably.
I mean, I'm active for 12 hours, but I'm not on all the time. I'm on and off,
that's
on and
what
off.
I'm saying.
Right.
If it's a crazy war going on and Morden was trying to get info about when we sleep, we don't sleep during war, Morden.
So you don't sleep?
Sure. Like an hour, you guys are not doing anything.
Sleep off of war?
I sleep.
Yo, sleep is for the weak. Sleep is for
I
SK
do.
and VVV.
I had a nap.
Do you sleep? Because you're a crackhead. I don't get every time I log on, I see you
Wait a
online.
minute, what's wrong being with a crackhead?
wrong
No, let's go.
I feel discriminated now.
I have to tell you to sleep.
She sends me to sleep. It doesn't work, but she tells me.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being a Tyrone Biggums, so we appreciate your contribution.
But I think that's a pretty good exercise to show for all the numbers. So that's pretty cool, boss. You're gonna stream that?
No, I'll probably just do I mean, regardless, it's actually a really interesting topic, and I think I'd be curious to see what people's responses would be that are pure free to play, to hear maybe what their average ending power is per season, and then how many seasons have they played, and what's their current power, and then what alliances did they play in, maybe on average how many spenders, or maybe how many gold chests did they notice per day. Like that kind of data I think would be really interesting to look at, because I think you'd be able to see a fuller picture of a range on hey, if you're in a high spending alliance as a free to play, this is the potential for your average growth rate. If you're in like a mid spending alliance, here's your average growth rate. If you're in a low spending alliance or more of a pure free to play, here's your average growth rate. Like that would be really interesting to look at.
That would be
Is someone paying you to do that math?
No. I just generally like doing that kind of stuff.
He really loves his Excel spreadsheets. Have
I would
you
actually.
seen his videos?
I'd love to
Clearly
see
you
that.
don't do this
Actually.
all in Excel.
Well, thank God for those of you that love it.
If you're gonna look at
Kathy,
that,
why did you change your name? Wait. Why does it?
there's a lot of data that's gonna be kind of offsetted though, because like TA Alliance, their beta, they're like 400, almost 500 days deep, which was fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Literally, all their free to play players on my merge, all their free to play players are like 45 million power.
Yeah, their average player will just be higher in general.
It was fucking.
Well,
AIDS,
they
man.
also played a couple of those beta kingdoms. I think before 10 or 12 also played an extra season. So.
Oh, look at that server that we were just talking about, Boss Baby's server, man, 40 billion. Who's gonna touch that server? Who's gonna fight that?
Well, with the current cap, no one's touching that server.
Yeah, they're gonna come in 40 billion. We're gonna be like, hey, you remember us from Infinity Kingdom? Oh yeah.
I think didn't he come in on what was it like? Wasn't it like the early 90s? Wasn't that when they did the first region expansion? I thought it was. It was either the 90s or after the early hundreds. I thought he came in on, but
I'm not sure.
I can't
Hey,
remember.
NASTi, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, what's up?
When are you going to interview Dark?
Dark? Wait, which Dark? You mean Darkness?
Dark Hill from Ice. When is the interview?
Yeah. You know, people have been asking me to interview Dark. People have been asking me to interview Kyle, too, from FSK.
Kyle.
Dark is
Everyone
better
wants you to
interview.
interview Kyle to see
Better
why
content.
he fucks
Better
like
content.
I would, I got a couple names on my list. I have a channel on my Discord that people can suggest people for me to interview. So I got that plus a queue. I haven't done one in a while, but I got a list and a queue of people that I'd like to. It's just a matter of finding some time. But anyone can suggest someone for me. If you think there's
Top alliances would be nice to hear from.
Yeah.
Okay, Zilla, I'm gonna suggest you.
Oh please, God, no.
I think you should
It's your boy
interview Ray
Soul
Cloud.
King in the house, aka
Yeah,
Mr. Kingdom Destroyer.
I think the thing about interviews that I really like is that, I mean, I've interviewed Jason, I've interviewed Strange with Neff before, and I think for me, I really like diversified interviews. Where people have interesting backgrounds. I think it's great to interview the strongest player, or I interviewed Wahid, who was the second strongest female player that I later found out. I think it was Northern or Southern. I always get them mixed up on which one's the male.
Northern. It's Northern.
Yeah, but like
Southern.
Even like potentially emailing them as a couple, I think that could actually be a really interesting interview, right? Where you're
That
kind
would
of,
be
Are you
cool.
going
Because they're awesome.
Where you're doing that kind of stuff.
Nah,
They are the
relax.
best players.
Who said that?
But yeah, you can do it like even when I interviewed Mustard Wolf, I thought that was a great interview because he has development, game development background, right? So that was like a really interesting conversation to hear what he had to say about like how the background and the mechanics and inner workings operate for COD, and like how he would code something and how easy is it to add something or adjust or take it out. So for me, I like to try and kind of give a melting pot of who I showcase. But yeah, if someone has a good explanation or reasoning or saying like, hey, this would be a really cool interview because of this and that. Yeah, so I will say this because people have asked me about that. So I've reached out to Asia and I've reached out to Leo, and I will say that I don't think so. Asia did respond to me, and she didn't give me a no. It was more of, I think where we left it off was she had asked, she's like, hey, what would you ask? So I'm like in the middle of like typing some stuff up. So that could be a possibility. That door isn't completely closed, which...
Yeah, of course, they're going to want to know so they can prepare their answers, right?
Exactly.
And that's okay.
How it works.
Yeah. and that's fine. I mean, hey, if I can ask the stuff that I'd like to ask, and they're willing to answer, if it gives a little more insight, I'll take what I can get.
You gotta start with the baby steps first. Give them a couple of easy questions, and then
But then tee them up, and then just sneak in some difficult ones in there.
We had the same problem when we played
the
Game
real
of War.
interviewer.
We had to get onto the developers because of a lot of shit that was going down.
Let's go.
We had a bunch of people getting in there.
King, how did you get in here like a ninja?
Night fam.
Hello.
Night Dark.
Community
Night
help.
Dark.
Because I am
Wait,
a ninja.
read well. Read yourself to sleep.
Yes, ma'am.
Read yourself to sleep.
Hey, I'm on like chapter 15 of Den of Vipers.
Wait, you started it? I'm so excited.
I was like, geez, yo. There's so many people
done.
here. Like, I've never seen this many people here.
I didn't see it in our chat. Wait, update me. I want to know what you think.
Crazy, yo.
Nasty,
we have 70,000.
I'd love to see
Yo,
it.
Soul, where you been at, Soul? You missed it, bro.
Oh, bro, I was sleeping like a little
missed
baby.
everything, bro.
Dude, I
Obi has recruited me.
Like a
You gonna
baby
like this
panda, I
one.
was sleeping.
Yeah,
I
Soul
told,
King said he's gonna drop his nudes in Not Safe for Work channel.
Whoa, whoa,
fuck?
what? What's
Back to
going on
game
here?
talk, bro.
What?
Motion.
Oh my god. You wish, Sabrina. You
No,
wish.
no, you can tag Wolfie, he'll do it.
Oh
Nobody
my
wants
god.
to see a small bamboo, bro.
Oh shit, I'll be back.
This is what it turns to, bro. Talking about the small
You
bamboo.
harassed me.
Did I
all
mention I'm a
last
really
night.
bad
I couldn't
wingman,
harass you.
Yeah.
I'm not the community helper
Okay, back
like you.
to this. Anyways,
Oh,
if you just
man.
PM him, slide into his DMs, blow him up. He really likes that. And ask
What
for
is-
his nudes. He really, really likes that.
What is the SOD community like? Where did the SOD Alliance come from?
Yeah, there's a bunch of sod people in the chat.
I don't know if I like it or not.
Are they SOD worshippers? What's going on here?
I feel like a lot of people are very obsessed with SOD, not gonna lie. They just won't admit it.
I love
Okay.
SOD.
I've absolutely no affiliation with this. I don't know where
There
this
was even a
God.
DOS before. I
This
missed
is
the
like a
DOS
SOD
person.
cult? Oh yeah, the DOS. Yeah, I know who DOS is.
Oh yeah, wait, we had a fan in the chat. It was backwards TFS and backwards SOD. So
Yeah.
like you have a huge fan base, SOD. I don't know how you should feel about that, but there you
I
go.
mean, it's crazy that TFS backwards is soft.
So it's soft sod.
I guess
thought
so.
it was FFT and DOS.
Softy?
Yeah,
Wait, is it soft? No, it's not soft. It's SFT.
it's not. They just
It's close
are
enough that
illiterate.
you can kind of figure.
If you put in the O between the S and a half,
Oh, you guys giggled. Come on, give me that one.
you got him, Origin.
I heard you're a bad raid leader.
Here's a bad raid leader.
That SOD guy.
We should kick and rally you. That's what I heard.
I've been
You
waiting.
wish, Sabrina.
I
You
do.
wish.
I do.
Hey, Boss Nasty, what do you think about the semi-protected passes? I mean, I think they should just get rid of them. I mean, you've got the island that you can go to. It just slows down the game. It's like some of these seasons are like a month without any battles.
Yeah, and they should fix resurgence.
Out of
Yeah,
all the games
the
you
game
can play,
definitely got much more boring with killing Resurgence,
Oh,
killing
yeah,
the
killing
Alliance member cap,
resurgence, not able to move members, like it's just dull.
and we can
Agreed.
all blame the number one for that. The number
Yeah,
one
the,
person
that one
The
YouTuber,
resurgence made
that
Who's,
one
fought,
That's
who's
a
YouTuber,
fighting
line.
BDO? Did anyone team up on them yet?
that
Yeah,
third
no.
YouTuber.
I don't know how you kill Resurgence. Like, how could you do that?
I don't know.
Actually, freaking apparently, LNV
How
and
could you?
GD got video.
yeah, we got them.
MILF and GD versus BDO.
I believe in you, GD fam. You got this.
Well, the whole world's cheering on you. So.
For sure.
Out of all
GG?
the possible games you can play, this is the game that's the hardest to die to kill troops in. Like all the other games are so much more brutal, and this game does the most to stop you from fighting. Like they should open up the doors.
That's what I said.
It's
I'm like, what's the
crazy.
point of free healing if they stop you from fighting altogether?
They're missing such a
but
great
they even
opportunity.
nerfed
They
the
should have
free
battles
healing.
all the time.
Yeah, they did nerf the free healing. They're
It's
like,
so
oh, by the
annoying.
way, here's some of it back, but we're not gonna fully return it.
Yeah, you know, I think it is a good topic. It's a good question when it comes to the semi-protected passes. So, you know, I think if you look as a reference for what Rock does, right? I think their system is actually pretty well done when you understand the logic behind the progression for how the passes open. So, right, usually you start in a home kingdom starting zone, right, where it's only players from your kingdom that can go into it, and then you'll have the level 2 passes open. You go into a neutral fighting area. Then the level 3 passes open, right? Then you go into either your final zone or another neutral fighting area. And then the last pass will open if it goes that far, and then you'll go into like the King's Land, right? Or like the final area. And then after you're there for a little bit, then the semi-protected portion off of the level 4 passes, right? Or the passes that are in the final zone will open, so then you can start to invade your opponents or opposing kingdom zone 3s. And then it's kind of like it goes forward, right? Then it works backwards, one by one. And typically what ends up happening is that the home kingdom starting zones, or the zone 1s, those passes will open last, right? So they might open where there's a week left, right? Or 2 weeks left in the KVK. And that's how it works there. However, obviously, that's not the case with how COD works for you not
Which
being able
after
to
adding Truce Island, that doesn't make as much sense.
Yeah, you know, I think the thing that people have to understand is that, you know, when you raid, and I guess before I even go there, let me give you the Infinity Kingdom example, right? So for those of you that have played Infinity Kingdom, or if you haven't, it is kind of a shit show, because when you go into a KVK, or as they call it, an SVS there, which some kingdom builders will call it SVS, some call it KVK. But in IK, when you start in Zone 1, you can invade every single Zone 1. So you can basically end the KVK within the very first zone, right? You can take over and just invade everyone's starting zone. And that's obviously the worst way to do it, because you're basically eliminating the opportunity for players to play that season out just any little bit farther, right? I mean, think about you going in, you start in Zone 1, but you don't even get to experience what that season has to offer by trying to get into Zone 2, let alone getting into Zone 3. You're basically, like, like, if the season lasts 2 months, you were really only able to enjoy it for a week and a half. Like, that sucks. And that's very demotivating.
But that's a strategy, though.
They have that whole island. I mean, and in practice, I get what you're saying, but in practice, it doesn't work that way. What happens is that both sides sit on both sides of their passes and hope there's a battle, and maybe 1 or 2 people trickle out every once in a while. It's like a little Pez machine. That's it. Like, there's no battles. The whole semi-protected passes stops anyone from having, like, I get maybe Zone 1 being protected, but, like, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, but they
Season 1
open up
was
the passes after, right?
Yeah, but only to a certain extent. Like we can't fight right now because everyone's hiding back in Zone 2.
I think that whole island.
Zone 2. I don't know why they did that to Zone 2. That was stupid. They should have allowed alliances
so, I mean,
to go into Zone 2.
Yeah, like, I think in COD, like, the way I think it's okay for it to work in the beginning, because sometimes it's nice to take these things in baby steps, right? Like, you don't want to just fall victim to the megaphone effect, which is where you have like a small group of people that are just yelling from the rooftops and all. It's like a broken record player, right? But it's only getting louder and louder. That doesn't mean that emulates a majority opinion. All it emulates is that it's just a few people that are doing that. However, by saying that, you know, I do think that if they were to apply that similar mechanical approach for how Rock does it, where like they'll open up the zones in order and then they'll remove the semi-protected ones right after you get into the final zone, if it's like a week intervals or a couple day intervals, whatever it may be, I think that's okay. However, I still believe that, at least for now, they should consider still leaving the starting zone 1s locked. But
I totally agree with that, 100%.
I mean, again, I'm okay I'm okay with them potentially opening it maybe after they introduce home kingdoms, because then you have an opportunity to maybe go back to one. Now, you can argue or debate if you want to say something like, if the home kingdom starting zone 1 pass is going to open up for other kingdoms to invade, but people can't go back to the home kingdom for 24 hours, right? Like putting a soft stipulation like that where you don't immediately negate the potential slaughtering, if you will, which usually, let's be real, at that point, if you've invaded all their other zones and you've made it to their gates outside of their starting zone, like you're basically waiting to go in there and, just tear some chicken heads
Let's be
off,
honest.
right?
Near the end of the season, nobody's really playing the game anyways.
Tear some cheeks.
Yeah, and so I think the challenge is that you have to look at it like this. It's like, what's that saying? You give an inch, you take a mile, right? Or like, you want an inch, but they take a mile. And so you can also make the argument that if you've been able to push back the other kingdoms from final zone, pushing them out of zone 3, pushing them out of zone 2, and they're all the way back to zone 1, I could make the argument and ask, isn't that enough? And that's a fact. Like, you could agree on saying on one side of it, yeah, like we could see how that is enough. On the other side of it, you could have, these people want more and more and more. They want more bloodshed, so like that's usually what typically that's typically what leads to that train of thought, which is, well, why can't we go and invade their zone 1? At that point. And again, it's not to say that I'm against it. It's just having the understanding that, if you've already gone through all of that and you've basically taken 90% or 99%, if you want to consider it that, of what that kingdom has already kind of fought for and what they've been able to experience, it's like now you're just, really the only reason you'd be opening it is just so that kingdom can go and, farm any resources from them or kill any troops, go get some additional merits. But let's be real, usually it's a one-sided endeavor. And that's just the fact. That just is what it is. And so,
sure,
do you want, you have to weigh out, do you want to do that and then potentially demotivate players more and more, where they may become more disengaged from the game? Like, would some of those players quit? Would they lower activity? Would they maybe not fight as much the next season? Like, there's pros and cons to decisions on if you're going to open something like that or not. But
I'd love to see what their metrics are, because I think far more people are leaving because they're bored than they're leaving because they got killed. It's really hard to get killed.
I agree with Boss.
Yeah, no, and the thing is, I don't disagree with that. All I'm simply saying is that you have to look at it from the player psychology standpoint. If you're constantly getting beat down and you've already been pushed back essentially into your corner, do you think that you're going to be more engaged and more positively motivated, if you will, right? Are you going to be happier when they open your zone 1 up and you're like, oh man, here's the counterattack? Like, no, that's not what you're thinking, right?
Yeah, you're going to shut down and quit. I mean, that's
I don't know if you'd quit, but you would shut
game
down and probably not. You probably wouldn't resist that much, or if you had the opportunity to go back to your home kingdom, you probably would. And that's all I'm saying is, like, it's just trying to understand it from both sides, right, before you commit to a decision like that.
I feel like I totally agree with you, by the way. And I think I'm saying the same thing. I just consider your fallback to be that island they created. Otherwise, what's the point of the island? If zone 1 is protected, what's the point of the island?
So that's what I was going to say. The island seems almost like a cop-out for their solution to people who get kicked and cannot resurgence or anything.
Yeah.
Because their season's just over, so they just have to go to the truce island for 2 months. Which is I actually know several even T5 players that just quit the game because they were stuck on the Truce Island for 2 months because their team kicked them.
Yeah, it breaks it. Okay, the whole island thing even came about because a fucking YouTuber was like, yo, we should try this. And it doesn't work because everyone that's sent there sits there for 2 fucking months and decides they want to fucking quit. That's it.
Yeah, basically.
The real answer is better matchmaking, because if you go and you see at the end of the season the little alliances, if you watch them what they do, the second the end of the season comes around, they all turn on each other and kill each other for fun. Whether or not it's a big guy killing them or their neighbor killing them,
that's a new thing. This is my first season that I actually saw that in other servers, and I was actually kind of disappointed, to be honest.
what's going on with Rock now? Because I know when I started Call of Dragons in Season 1, like, I couldn't go back to Rock. Like, once I played Call of Dragons for like 10 days, like, I just wasn't interested in Rock anymore. I quit.
Rock just seems so slow and boring compared to Call.
It does.
Right. Like, are people, like, playing Rock anymore? Or, like, what's going on with it? I haven't played it all.
I think the way you look at like the Rock situation is probably how you would look at people who are so invested in like State of Survival, as an example. Most of the time, it's just because of investment, right? Usually financially, like they're just so monetarily invested in the game, or they've just been playing it for so long, right? That it's just familiar, and sometimes familiarity leads to comfortability.
I get that to some extent, but
right,
if you're like a whale, you're gonna have to keep funding it, and so you could just get T5 on this game and, you know, be fine, right? Because you have the free healing. Whereas that game, I get it, you put a lot of money into it and stuff, but you have to, with Rock, you have to keep funding it. You have to keep playing.
In Rock, I have a VIP 18 and a VIP 17 account, and I still just quit. I mean, like
Jesus.
I'm sure some will. I'm just saying, on average, that's usually the opinion that I hear from people that have spent a lot, and also from like friends I have that have told me like that's the only reason like I really haven't came over to COD. And I'm not saying that that's like the opinion everyone has, but that is one opinion or a few ways that some players will kind of hold off, right, on potentially pulling that trigger outside of the more adventurous ones who don't mind it, right? Like it may not mean a lot to them if they've invested 10, 20, 50, 100 grand into their account. They might be okay with that.
I think once COD gets the home server thing down, I think it'll pull a lot more people from Rock.
Oh, 100%. I agree.
These games, they have green players too. I mean, like, for instance, someone who finds the game on their mobile app and picks up for the first time State of Survival and hasn't played that genre before, they might like it. They don't even know that Rock and Call of, they don't know that. I mean, that's exactly what happened to me. I started playing State of Survival and I didn't even know Rise of Kingdoms existed.
Yeah,
that's what happened to me too. I forget what game I was playing. I was playing some game, and they offered me gems to go try another game, and then I tried Rock, and I was like, "Damn, man, this is great!" And that was it for me. I was the Rock player from that point on. And then when I was in Rock, I found out about Call of Dragons, and once I started COD, I couldn't go back to Rock anymore.
Dude, I thought this game was a gacha, and I was disappointed. And then they had the first, like, Behemoth Bear Raid. I was like, oh, you can get frames for being server first? I'm fucking down.
Those commercials are gotcha, okay?
True.
Yeah, the Behemoths make this game fantastic. I mean, it's just such a great game with the Behemoth fighting and the multi-level battlefield and the flying units. And it's just awesome, man. And the control of your artifacts, that's where it's at, dude.
Yeah, it would be a lot more awesome if they let us use it more often.
I just want T5 to have a better edge. I want my pet to do 10% more damage.
This guy, listen to
and
this guy.
I will pay for that edge. I will.
Zero skill.
You already
skill.
have the edge. No, I like the implementation of the pet system. I enjoy it a lot. I think that's cool and fresh.
Yeah, I agree.
I hope that they go about it in a way where it's not like you have 4 pet lizards. I understand that was the original ones, so it could be accepted. Throw skins on them and call it a day. But the new ones are pretty much that pattern where they took the bear, made it brown, and they took the drake and threw some stripes on it. I hope they keep it fresh.
I mean, I have to give them credit for fixing pets, because the way, when it came out, it was just an absolute disaster. I mean, it was insulting to my intelligence. I was like, I'm not going to spend a dime on this because I'm smart enough to know this is bullshit. And when they changed it, it's awesome now. You know, I really, really like it.
What worries me a lot is I just don't want Call of Dragons to turn into Crystal Tech.
Yeah.
Like, if Crystal Tech ever gets implemented in COD, forget about it.
Bro, relax.
$600 a season. Christ almighty.
Yeah, hopefully not. I think with the matchmaking, at least on that topic, I think...
Shut up, Hayes, with your Google Play ass gift cards. Get out of here.
Who said that? Who's that?
Muted!
No!
Zilla's trolling. Okay.
But yeah, I think with the matchmaking itself, now after kind of pulling data for a third or fourth cycle on the 1 through 90 group, which was condensed to the 1 through 10 and 22 through 90 group now, I think it's pretty clear that when we look at how matchmaking's being done, it's kind of a couple high, a few medium, and a few low.
Yes.
But the gaps are still really wide, and I somewhat get it on one hand where they're doing it so that way there's enough activity in each group, and if you were to do it the opposite way, which I personally still like a lot more, is doing it more so based on ranking matchups where you put 1 through 4 or 1 through 6 or 1 through 8 as an example. And I think one way that you potentially combat some of the lower groups is you just add more kingdoms in it. I think they've already set a precedent for that. If you look at 155 through 173, you look at 174 through 187, they're okay with putting 18, 20 kingdoms in a group.
Boss, I'm sorry to interrupt. Are you in contact with the developers?
No.
Maybe you should reach out, because you have all this data and seems like you have some great ideas.
Well, I think. Well, first off, thank you for the kind words. I think I think everything within reason, right? It's not being quick to pull the trigger, but I think being able to look at the data can tell you a lot, right? That can kind of fill in some of those blanks, fill in some of those gaps, and I think it can help us arrive at more rational and logical conclusions, also taking into consideration how does CoD operate, right? And not just immediately thinking that we need to try and port features over from other games and, oh yeah, that's going to solve everything. And maybe in some areas, right, it can help and it can assist. Like I think Home Kingdoms, which is a common denominator across a number of kingdom builders. Like I'm building out a spreadsheet that some of you have seen right now where I'm like doing a big deep dive on historical kingdom builders, going all the way back to, games like, Game of War, which was, introduced, back in 2013, right? Stuff like Game of Kings that came out in 2016. Like, I'm doing like a deep dive on kingdom builders because I want to do a video that talks about the history of kingdom builders and like the progression from like when they first came out to them being now. Right, because some of the things you often hear from people, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, well this game was the original creator of this feature, right? Or this game came out with this thing first." And I'm more of like I want to see that for myself. You know what I mean? Like I want to be able to go and figure that out to see like, oh, is that actually true or not? Because it's so easy for people to say that these games are reskins, right? Like people will often say like, "Oh yeah, this game's a reskin of Rock," or "It's a reskin of this game," and it's like, well, what's to say that Rock didn't reskin something else before it?
Sure.
Right.
Everything's built on something else.
A lot of it's like innovation or it's inspiration, to your point.
Exactly. We're in a linear in universe, so obviously something that came out in 2020 is now 2024. It's going to be better, or it's going to be from that's going to be based on that.
Well, this game is inspired by RTSs. The old school RTSs with StarCraft and others, like the field battles that you had there. This is much more closer to that. It's almost like kind of taking that genre back a little bit.
Yeah. I'm 42 years old. I've been gaming for a long time. There was a game back in the day called Subspace. I don't know if you guys ever played that, but like a lot of games originated from that. And Subspace kind of was a takeoff of Asteroids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, it's cool and it's appealing that it's fresh. But I could have told quickly, like I played Fallout, all it showed was the same game engine. No matter the new game that came out, it's fairly the same thing. So with such a new game, like I would at least want animations to be different. Especially when they come out with new heroes or pets, whatever. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yes, but this is a pay-to-win RTS, and we love it.
Exactly.
I told
RTS exactly.
Boss, I don't think they get away from the matchmaking the way it is right now. I think it's essential that the matchmaking works this way based on how they have migration working. It's almost like care and feeding. It's how they tend the crops. They need large servers matched with middle servers matched with small servers.
Yeah.
so that the people at the end of the season who are whales in the small servers have an opportunity to go to a big server. Otherwise, they'd be trapped in their class of servers, of small servers, and they wouldn't be able to get out. Once they do general migration, they'll be able to do matchmaking differently because people will be able to migrate wherever they want.
Yeah, and will they ever have a king type thing in
They better,
COD?
man. I mean, if they open global without a king system, it's going to be chaos.
Exactly, because right now, and well, when I left Rock, I mean, the kings could pretty much, you know, tell you who's coming in and who isn't. You know, that was a big thing. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, for Rock, it's specifically for the overcap players. So it's like if you're Imperium, it's anyone who's over 35 mil, right, has to apply. Then they have to get accepted.
Exactly.
And then also if it's like a certain cross season, so like if it's like season 3 can go into season 2, season 2 can go into season, like it's similar ones, right? But if it's same season, the floodgates are still open, right? Anyone can come in as long as they're under the cap that you set. And
correct, but the king could set that cap, you know.
No, don't get me wrong, they can. It's just, you know, I think for me, I just find it somewhat comical that they haven't implemented some kind of hard accept and eye system, especially
I find it comical too.
Especially when you look at the way that Rock has been building, right? Like you look at the trends for, I mean, like if you, most new kingdoms in Rock are usually being filled nowadays by jump projects. Like there's multiple communities that are dedicated to this, and again, I'm like the jumper community is one of the biggest ones. There's a few others, but if you go into those Discord servers, you'll literally see that they have pretty much almost every new kingdom with a blockout date for a specific project that's going there. Like it's a very common thing that's being done. But because of that, most new kingdoms are usually always trying to avoid civil war. Why? Because they don't want to stifle their average player development and progression going into the first KVK. Like it's just, this is like very common practice that has elevated to that level. And obviously it wasn't the case back in beta and some of the earlier kingdoms when this was just starting. But this is a very common, like higher intellectual approach that people have now to new kingdoms because they've more or less figured it out. Like even if you don't even have to be in the most well-ran or most well-organized jump project. Like this is a pretty common thing. Like most people just know you don't sit there and like bite the hand that feeds you, right? Which in this case is everyone, right? To try and kind of have that rising tide lifting all boats.
But the cool thing about Rock was, though, you had that mix where you had the jumpers, where, you know, these are people that had other accounts and they already knew how to play the game. And then you had new players that were starting that didn't know anything about the game. You know what I mean? So you had that clash, you know what I mean, where, you know, they were going up against, you know, they didn't want to, you know, do what the other people were trying to do, and they didn't understand, you know?
Oh no, without a doubt. I mean, I ran five jumper projects in Rock, and I ran some of the largest, if not the largest, grassroots projects. Where, you know, my first project, we had 15 alliances. I'm sorry, we had 13 alliances that turned into 15. That we had with, I think, about 500 people, 5 or 550 that we had, and that was with like no content. I wasn't even doing content back then, with no outside promotion. That's just like grinding hard and recruiting people from multiple chats across different servers. And my second project I ran, we had 12 alliances, right? We basically stuck like 2 in each zone. And we had about, I think, 450 people that went in. Now, bear in mind, you know, that's pretty uncommon. Most projects do not run that many alliances. Most projects usually average, like in Rock, it's probably somewhere between 2 and 4, 2 and 3 if you want to be a little more conservative. In CoD, it's probably more like 1 to 2, 1 to 3, right? If you want to be a little more risque, if you will. But yeah, it's just you know, it's obviously just kind of different ways of doing things. But I do very much hope that they add in some kind of accept and eye system, because I just think that alone will really allow for kingdoms to get a lot more quality. I mean, it will also allow for, you know, big groups like BXS and BDO, EIS, TFS to get in arguably all the players that they want to get in. You know, and I think that's very reasonable to ask that.
But they're going to have to implement some type of king system where, you know, the head alliance of that server takes something and holds it, and then the alliance leader becomes king, and then there has to be a way for another alliance to challenge that. I don't know if that'll ever happen without alliance shells. Like in Rock, you have an alliance shell, and there's actually a value to the alliance shell. And here, there is no alliance shell. I mean, you start fresh.
You mean
with a
you mean like
brand
a King's Alliance?
No, like an alliance. The shell, the alliance shell itself has value, meaning because there is no value in alliance shell in COD because you start fresh every single season. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, there still is value for being able to drop flags and forts, but yeah, I mean, as far as not having the shell like max tacked like you can, and yeah,
Correct.
I understand it, because in Rock, typically one of the strategies you do is you try and develop as many. And for those of you who might not be privy to the shell word, basically it just means an empty alliance or an alliance that you can use for your own purposes. And usually,
if you have an alliance with max tech, I mean, you can dump, tons of players in there. There's value to the actual alliance shell. That shell can't leave the actual kingdom. It stays there. You can't port a shell from one kingdom to another.
Yeah, I mean, you could always stick farms or additional characters in it to try and like boost it or gem boost it. Like there's a couple tactics you can apply. I mean, obviously it's a little bit more of a roundabout way in COD, but I mean, it still could be done. I mean, there was multiple. I think TFS used some shells in their KVK to place additional flags. They could probably speak to it a little bit more, at least from what I saw. But I know there was at least a couple alliances that did that in the Season 2 Plus groups. I don't know how many they used, but I know.
But
they
each
did
season you have to build the shells up again, though.
Yeah.
They start from scratch, so that you don't have that advantage. Like in Rock, it takes months and months to max tech. An alliance. It takes a very long time.
Well, a good positive move forward for the alliances is they're gonna let you keep your member capacity, because it made no sense for you to go into the next season with all your members and then here comes the cut. That was a bad going about it. So they fixed that right away.
Yeah. So, boss, are they? I don't know exactly what they're doing next season with that. Like, are you going to be able to jump in and out of alliances, or are they going to have like a max member limit, like to 120 or something, or like what are they doing with that?
Yes, I think they already came out and they said that the max cap is going to be set at 200 going forward.
200.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I think they said they're either going to remove the buff or they're going to extend the buff, but I know they did say
the buff's permanent.
Oh, thank you.
And then it doesn't go over 200.
Yeah. So it's a hard 200 cap. Now, as far as are they going to be having the similar approach for the cooldown period, the no PvP period? I would imagine those things are probably going to stay the same. Of course, we'll know more tomorrow.
I hope they lower it to 12 hours or something. I think 12 hours for CH25.
Yeah. I think the one thing I'd like for them to do is just allow for you to be able to gain merits in Zone 1 right after the cooldown finishes. Like I think that's kind of ridiculous that you can't
can't
gain merits.
Even if you can't use the shop, you should be able to
100%.
merits.
Yeah.
We had a Zone 1 war and we couldn't even track on our players like who did what, or people had no clue how well they used their marches. Like they were just fighting.
Yeah, that's really annoying that they don't have that. I think I can agree with maybe 5 days of no merits or 4 days or something, 3 days, but any longer than that, it's ridiculous.
The reasoning behind not having merits from the beginning, is it just a random trope or
stop you from Zone 1 wars? I don't know. You're gonna fight them anyway.
I think that's most likely what the reason is. I mean, if you look at the trend for what they've done in Zone 1, right? Bear in mind they never used to have the ceasefire, right, buff enabled, if you want to call it that, right? And they also never used to have the what was it? Oh god, there was one other thing that they added in after that, and I'm having the biggest brain fart. But some of those things weren't in the game, right? They only got added in because there was a group of players that had provided those suggestions, or we could say that feedback in a nice way. Because I don't want to call it a complaint, but it's their feedback that they provided saying, hey, we're getting attacked in starting Zone 1s, and then the way that they kind of do it is more of what I consider to be a Band-Aid fix. It's like, well, that's the way that the system is currently designed. You can't necessarily fault the system. You can get feedback on the system. And I think with them considering now adding home kingdoms, maybe they'll add home kingdom starting zones. Like if a home kingdom starting zone solves a lot of these Band-Aid fixes that they're doing, right? And it does it in a positive and well-balanced way where you don't have to worry now about, massive zone 1 wars going on or any kind of, large-scale PvP situations that are playing out.
Personally, I think the 2-day peace zone is really dumb. I don't know how many of you saw the EIS, VVV, and Tribe War in Zone 1, but like the whole 2-day peace, it's just people throwing marches on the field so no one can place flags. So everyone's just standing around with marches AFK, just like waiting for the war to open. It's like, if you're going to do that, you might as well just be able to fight right off the bat.
I remember Season 1 Plus, we merged into a region, and the opposing alliance came into the same region we were in and attacked us right from the beginning. It's the first time I ever had to fight with like level 2 heroes. It was fun. It was interesting. I was now where you're level 60 before you fight your first battle. Like, what's the point of leveling the heroes if I never get to fight with them at lower levels? What's the point of that?
T4s that were enjoying it. Like, they were typing, I've never fought with like this few legions, and because what T4s really felt it, because unlike the whales who have like shit tons of troops anyway, they never been able to refresh so many times and keep fighting. So they were just fighting with 50, 70k marches over and over and over again. They were having a blast.
It created like a whole new dynamic to the game that like breathed new life into it. It was interesting, and we got our asses kicked. We had to resurge, and I still thought it was great.
Yeah.
I still want that to happen again. And now the new meta that's happening is like everyone figures out their starting zones before they go to the next season. Cool. Everyone's picking a place where they're safe in the beginning.
Everyone has allies already.
And then the semi-protected passes mean that you're not fighting for the first month. And it's like,
I mean, to be fair, there are ways to get the best out of everything. Like if you remember when Season 1 Plus came out, right? It's kind of what they're doing right now. Like, they basically just used 3 of the starting Zone 1s from Season 1, and they just basically made those neutral PvP zones that once the pass is open, you could go into and you'd fight it out. So when you look at how the T1 map, or the S2++ map, as I call it, plays out, right? It's essentially just a little bit of an upgraded version of that. But again, if they were, as an example, right? I think one solution is if they reduce the amount of time to get to those particular zones. Like if they reduce the amount of time for maybe some of the Augur Stones, not to maybe say you need to make the season shorter overall, but I think that if you fine tune some of the Augur Stone durations and you make it so that way, you could be getting to that Zone 2, that neutral PvP Zone 2, maybe around a week, right? Or within a week, because let's be real, it's not going to take you 7 or 10 days to flag the entire starting Zone 1 territory. Like, that was consistently seen in Season 2, that was consistently shown in Season 2 Plus, right? So if you looked at when alliances were filling out the regions with territory, and then you looked at how much time they had left until the next pass opened, on average, it was usually at least a couple days, right, if not more, that they were just sitting there not having to do anything. And they had already capped the behemoths. They had already filled out the region with territory. So I think fine-tuning, adjusting some of that, where you're just allowing for that PvP to happen a little earlier, I think that's a nice step, or 1 or 2 steps in a direction to see how that plays out, right? Before you potentially then look at, okay, let's assess and see how this plays out. Let's see how it runs over a season. And then if we need to adjust again, then we will.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, I like that. Through the downtime of whether, you're going through a healing stage of where your troops are in the hospital, it's going to take X amount of days. Sometimes you're waiting on the reset and no potions come. So you want to keep the game sort of fun for that period as well. I do like the new implementation of, like, let's say the behemoth attempt, where you and your friends can come along in a queue to sort of battle this beast. Same thing, since this is a battle game, this is a little bit far off, but it's still there. If you're able to queue up and maybe even though you're still healing, queue up against another enemy, and you guys can clash with the marches, like almost like a one-on-one request, but on any server level. So you and your friend can do it. Anybody. Keep the game fun for these times of downtime, because you don't want it to get to a point where it's discouraging as well. You know, that
Yeah.
I would say.
I mean, I gotta say, the first 60% of this season for us was terrible. I mean, it was just boring. Nobody had anything to do. You know, this whole thing with the ruins with the one march thing. I mean, it just gets old after a while, you know.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants that. People want to be able to go in and they want to fight for territory. I mean, that's what it's all about. Games about territory, about building and fighting. It should be like that from soup to nuts, you know.
We had like 2 days of fighting the entire season. By the time we got to the dragon we had no ability to get people online because all our whales, like if you have 50 or 100K in this game, you're not coming on every day to go do Darklings. You know what I mean?
Keeping people motivated during that long stretch of boring period, it really kills the vibe. Especially even when the fun part comes, a lot of people just like are already in the AFK lull mode where they just like
Correct. I had 10 million merits this season, and that's like so low for me. Usually I'm like top 10 merits every season, and I'm like 71st this season because it was just so boring, you know, until the end, you know.
Wait, I've been so zoned out. Cranbros in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been zoned out. Sorry.
That's okay.
Apparently, Black Adam hates my guts, so that's great.
Black Adam hates your guts.
And we hate his.
No. And then isn't one of the girls that reacted to his thing, one of the girls that reacted to his thing, why is he still adding me? Oh my god.
Dude, I'm glad he ain't.
Never said I would rally him. I was talking mad shit to Soul. It's you,
Isn't Adam
Soul.
in our merge though?
That's what I said. And when he was
I
like,
cannot
"No,
wait
I'm
to
not.
zero
I'm
him."
not with you guys." I'm confused. I thought he was in Meowits.
No, he is in Meow. He was in Meow.
So I'm
He's gonna be
confused.
in that biggest merge. I wish.
So is he leaving you guys then? Because
No,
I need to know.
He's with us.
If he's
with us.
joining TFS, right? But that's my
He's
thing.
not joining TFS.
He says, Soul, he's with Meow,
Yeah.
right? So
I
is
don't
he
know
leaving or
what-
staying? Because if he's not, I need to tell
TFS,
Jason
he's
because he
joining-
needs to calm down, bro. Like this is
He's
too much.
joining. He hates our allies.
So funny,
He's
bro.
joining the ops.
Bro,
he said he's gonna join BXS.
It's crazy. He blew up because every time he would join VC, he wouldn't even say hi. He just instantly started cussing and
he's a
screaming
bitch. Yeah.
about his, I don't know, about whoever he went up against. And
No,
it was like really threatening of like whoever joins them is my enemy. And it was like, yo, that's no way to get anyone on your side. And then he went off on me. So
I like that they put the server numbers on people's profiles. I think they should start putting the ages on people's profiles too. That would help.
oh fuck, that would be great.
Because
That's
God
great.
bless all the leadership, but I'm like 41 years old. I can't stand
Bro,
having
I'm
to put up with
36, and he called me a Karen because I said, "Can you please stop tagging me?"
I'm 42.
And then we have
sorry,
somebody else that I have to deal with because she decides to be a dick rider, and she's supposed to be in her family, and laughed at that. So
these poor souls in leadership. They're trying to reason with people and ration, use logic. And it's like, for all you know, you're talking to a 13-year-old. You're just wasting your time. He doesn't even have a full frontal cortex yet.
Oh my god.
Dang.
Bro,
I feel like you just came out with like the water boy line. It's like your medulla. What is it? Your medulla oblongata hasn't been. Really, yeah.
Mama said.
Yeah, really dug deep there.
Yeah, with Black Adam, I'm pretty sure he's He hates our allies, so he's
There's
joining
yeah,
VXS.
but there's something like there's a screw loose in that dude. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna call me a Karen for saying, "Can you please leave me alone?" Like a Karen gets in your face. Like I'm saying, leave me alone, bro. And
Yeah.
won't.
Some people are just all about conflict. You know, they just want to
Yep.
troll, and that's all they care about doing.
Oh, he
They-
said I was
It
like
takes
threatening
one to know one.
zero him, but it was Soul because, and it was a joke because I fuck with Soul a lot. And to be fair, Soul,
Yup.
you were being gross last night anyways, so you deserved it.
Nah,
What?
Soul the goat. Soul the
I
best.
don't know what you're talking
What?
Don't
about.
talk shit on my boy.
No,
Don't talk shit on my boy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
no, I
Serena.
love Soul, but where's Kathy? Fuck this. I'm not about to be made into a liar right now. Where's Kathy?
I'm kidding. Yeah. You kept
You were
telling
being
me you want to
pervy.
zero me.
You were being pervy. You deserved
Whoa,
it.
whoa. That's
Whoa.
Okay, bro. Yeah.
There's a
Soul, you got.
screenshot in general where you said, I came to the Not Safe for Work channel and I'm disappointed because there's no naked photos of Sabrina. That's what you said.
Whoa.
There's
Whoa. These
Yo,
are
my
some
boy.
heavy
Yo,
accusations
my
going
boy, my
on
boy
here.
turned into Pervy Sage-Senpai. Yeah.
It's
No,
not.
bro,
It's not an accusation. You literally
Yeah,
said
bro,
it.
you know
It's
what you
rare.
Brooke, you know what you did, bro. Mr. Playboy fan, you know exactly what you did.
Hey, shoot your shot,
You know what
player.
you've been doing all day.
But I appreciate it really
I'm just
because
joking.
you can
You know what you've
you can give it and take it, right? And this dude
Pause.
is weird.
I don't take anything. Whoa.
Oh my god. No. See, this is how we get bossnasti to leave the conversation.
It's turning
He's
into
like,
a not safe for work voice call. Might be time to exit.
No.
All right, Tequila, you got to stop turning the chat into like XXX content. Come on.
I'm repeating what he said. How is that my fault? I love
so
how
if the
this
game
is my
fixes
fault.
migrations and how people can move between alliances, I think it'll be good.
Fuck all of you guys.
Solid transition. Solid.
Flickering.
Yeah, man, that's good stuff. Yo, man, we need to do stuff like this more often where we just get like 100 people in the VC and just raid.
Yeah, that was fun.
And just
We
have
had-
some
we had-
nice talks. It's good
Yeah, it
stuff.
was.
Can we
Some
invite
good
some
talks.
devs?
Can
Right.
we invite the devs?
Yeah, I think they see their chat blown up through the game application on Discord that we all are participating on. We're
Yeah.
blowing this shit up, man.
Dark, quit trolling.
But Boss Nasty, I really do think you should write a nice little letter to the developers and give them some good ideas and show them some of your stats. You know.
Well, you know, Asya, on that note, Asya did come on the Gen Chat for the COD Discord. I think this was a couple weeks ago. And she basically said, more or less verbatim, that she watches like my videos and Meower's videos and a few others as well, and made it seem as though, you know, they're aware when, you know, that type of feedback content. I imagine they probably watch the others too as well, but there actually was one time where I wrote something up that was pretty detailed that had to do with Roots of War spectating, and I sent it to them, and then they did get back to me and basically said that, and I can say it now because it's out,
Sure.
but they said that they were essentially, like, they thought it was a good idea and that they were, I guess, going to go and discuss it, and then obviously now you see that it's out, right? It's not out to the fullest extent of how I had pitched it, but
Yeah, that was
it's-
pretty dumb. People couldn't watch because you could even ping in your alliance chat and people would be trying to click
Exactly.
it. And they're like, what's going on?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because
I didn't know that.
I mean, I don't have anybody's ear or anything, but I have VIP like everyone else probably does, and I've commented a few times, and
Vicky, delete that.
a lot of times they've said, you know, thanks for your comment. We'll forward it to our team and stuff like that.
That's
you know,
the copy and paste.
Cockroach. That's funny. That's what they always say to me.
yeah, exactly. But I'm sure they do it though. You know, like they probably actually do. You know.
Yeah, it's
Well, I'm
a-
sure
to
they
be
send
fair,
it. I'm
they
not
must
sure
be
it gets
getting-
read.
Well,
To be fair, they must be getting the biggest amount of those. They can't even deal with all of them. You know, they have to curate them. You know, is this
Yeah.
important or not?
Yeah, I, mean, I would imagine they have to have some kind
like,
of.
Go ahead, boss.
No, my bad, my bad. You go, Adi, you good.
Yeah, about the topic is like, you know, I really see it as like, okay, whether it's a top player that pays a lot of money towards this game we all play, they have to be aware of such character because we all play a certain role behind our tags in this game. And yeah, if you have a character, no matter the name, Nephistro, Jason, it doesn't matter, with such a brand that people are just dumping monetary value on day after day for that community, yeah, they have to pay attention to what not only makes sense, but ways to go about